Good morning, dear students. After auxins, cytokinins, and gibberellins, now in this lecture we are going to start the practical applications of ethylene. So, ethylene is one of the naturally occurring growth regulating substance that can enhance the growth of the plant. This growth regulator is the one of the plant growth regulator which is in gaseous form. So the first one practical application of ethylene is ripening of fruits. So this is the foremost application of the ethylene on the crop plant. Ethylene, when applied as a foliar spray, accelerates, increases fruit maturity and induces uniform ripening in pineapple, fig, grape and many other horticultural plants including mango, citrus, pear, sapota, lychee, strawberry, apple, pomegranate, etc. So the ethylene is the one of the plant growth regulator which accelerates fruit maturity, fruit ripening, and it can also induces uniform ripening in almost all types of horticultural plants including mango, citrus, grapes, strawberry, apple, pomegranate. It also enhances fruit color and yield. So this is the one of the important application of the ethylene. It is a fruit ripening phytohormone that has been produced in many horticultural plants. Next, this is the change in sex expression of flowers. Ethylene, when applied at 3-leaf stage, increases the number of female flowers in cucumber, squash and melon. So to increase the number of female flowers in cucumber, squash and melon like watermelon, the ethylene is applied at the 3-leaf stage. So this growth hormone changes the sex expression of the flowers, means it increases the number of female flowers in most of the fruits. Next, so this is the induction of flowering. Application of ethylene is very useful for inducing flowering in many horticultural plants and ornamental plants. Then apical dominance. The apical dominance, which is caused by the auxin, means it inhibits the initiation and the development of lateral branches. The application of ethylene is found to be effective in some plants for inducing apical dominance, thereby it checks vegetative growth. Like the auxins, ethylene induces apical dominance. Then induction of abscission and senescence. Spraying of ethylene stimulates processes like abscission and senescence. This property is used in harvesting. For example, cotton plants are sprayed with ethylene, the leaves fall off and then the mature cotton balls can be easily harvested. So ethylene is the growth regulating substance which stimulate the process of abscission and senescence. So when the natural leaf fall that has been not occur, for example in cotton, so it becomes tedious for the harvesting of the mature cotton balls. So in this case, when the cotton plants are sprayed with ethylene, the leaves fall down, then the mature cotton balls can be easily harvested. Even in many other plants, ethylene, if sprayed 2 weeks before the harvest, it accelerates abscission of fruits and facilitate mechanical harvesting. So abscission occurs in the fruits when ethylene is sprayed 2 weeks before its harvest, so it becomes easy for mechanical harvesting. The treatment of ethylene is also very useful to induce leaf fall in horticultural plants during Bahar treatment if there is some problem in natural leaf fall even after withholding water. So Bahar treatment has been given to many of the horticultural plant for natural leaf fall, and when the natural leaf fall does not occur even after withholding the water, the ethylene has been sprayed in such horticultural plants that found to be useful for induction of leaf fall. This may be used for leaf, flower and fruit thinning also. So this is the Important application of the ethylene in the induction of abscission and senescence. Next to this is the increasing the shelf life of fruits. So the fruits like apple, banana, papaya, strawberry, guava, sapota, bear, custard apple, and many others can be stored for longer time in an unripe condition by blocking the formation of ethylene in them. As you know that the role of the ethylene or the practical application of the ethylene has been involved in the ripening of the fruits. And if you are interested in increasing the shelf life of the fruits, keep the fruits in unripe condition, we have to block the formation of the ethylene in them. Almost all types of fruits can be stored for a longer period of time in an unripe condition by blocking the formation of ethylene in them. The shelf life of such perishable fruits can be increased by storing these fruits in ethylene depleted CO2 rich atmosphere. Ethylene depleted means there is less amount of ethylene formation has been takes place where the CO2 concentration is high than its natural level. So under such condition, the perishable fruits can be stored in ethylene depleted CO2 rich atmosphere to increase the shelf life of such fruits. The opening of flowers of morning glory in the early morning and their closing in the afternoon depends on ethylene concentration. So in case of morning glory plant, the flowers has been open in the early morning and they are closed in the afternoon. So this movement of the flower, that is the opening and the closing of the flower, has been depends on ethylene concentration. The opening of carnation buds is accelerated by ethylene treatment while it inhibits the opening of rose buds at the same concentration. Ethylene is widely used to delay aging process in plants. So it delay the senescence and aging in plants. Treatment with carbon dioxide or absorption of endogenously produced ethylene with mercuric perchlorate is used generally for this purpose. Ethylene is used to induce tolerance in plants against drought stress, flooding stress or temperature stress. Its application induces disease resistance in plants and protects the plants from the attack of insects and pathogen. So the ethylene is a stress tolerance hormone that can induce tolerance in plants against drought, flood and temperature stress. Its application also induces disease resistance in plants and protects the plants from the attack of insects and pathogens. Application of ethylene is useful to increase the growth and thickness in plants. This increases sturdiness of the plant and makes it resistant to mechanical injury. So to withstand against, or it is found to be resistant to the mechanical injury when the plants are applied with the ethylene. So it increases the growth and thickness in plants. Ethylene causes growth and differentiation of root and shoots in treated plants. Root growth is stimulated at low concentration and inhibited at higher concentration. Ethylene treatment induces enormous production of root hairs. Ethylene stimulates the formation of adventitious roots, leaves and stem. Ethylene induces rooting of cutting in nursery development. Like the auxins, ethylene induces rooting of cuttings in nursery plants. Next to this is the practical applications of abscisic acid. So the next or the last plant growth regulator, that is the abscisic acid. We are going to study here the practical applications of abscisic acid. The first application in bud dormancy. So this growth hormone, that is the abscisic acid, it is used for inducing bud dormancy in many plants and acts as growth inhibitor instead of growth regulator. The concentration of abscisic acid is very high in dormant seeds. It is proposed that abscisic acid is involved in the induction and maintenance of dormancy. Abscisic acid causes formation of resting buds in many woody plants. Thus, abscisic acid is used to control the sprouting of buds in some plants like onion and tubers. So abscisic acid keeps the buds in dormant condition, so it acts as a growth inhibitor. The concentration of abscisic acid in dormant seed is very high, so it is proposed that abscisic acid is involved in the induction and maintenance of dormancy. So it forms the resting buds in many woody plants. So this is the application of abscisic acid in bud dormancy. Next, in senescence. Abscisic acid promote senescence in variety of the plants. It is used to induce leaf fall in horticultural plants during Bahar treatment. So like the ethylene, if the natural leaf fall does not occur after water holding or after water stress, when the abscisic acid has been sprayed on the plant, on the horticultural plant, it induces leaf fall. The purpose of Bahar treatment is to induce the dormancy or resting period in fruit plant by the natural leaf fall. Hence, after the leaf fall, the plants enters into a resting period. So to get resting period to horticulture plant, Bahar treatment has been carried out. So this treatment involves withhold the water for a period of a weeks. So the natural leaf fall occurs in the plant. But if the natural leaf fall does not occur after giving a Bahar treatment, after withholding the water, then abscisic acid has been used to induce the leaf fall in horticultural plants. In abscission, so this name given to this abscisic acid because of its tendency to cause abscission of leaves, flowers and fruits. So the abscission zone has been formed at the base of peduncle, that is the fruit stalk, at the base of petiole, at the base of pedicel, so due to which it can cause abscission of leaves, flowers and fruits. This can be practically used for thinning of leaves, flowers and fruits. Sometimes excessive leaves, flowers or fruits are formed which are not necessary or are actually harmful to the plants. So under such condition, the abscisic acid has been used practically for thinning of leaves, flowers and fruits. Therefore, to maintain the required number of leaves, flowers or fruits per plant, abscisic acid spraying will be helpful. So this is the important practical application of abscisic acid in abscission. Next, in growth inhibition, abscisic acid is antagonistic in action to auxins, gibberellins and cytokinin. Antagonistic, it works against the practical application of auxins, gibberellins and cytokines. Hence, it inhibits the growth in plants. Abscisic acid can be practically used for dwarfing the plant, to lowers down the height of the plant. Abscisic acid can be used for dwarfing. It is also useful to check the excessive vegetative growth of plants when it is not desired. So in case of horticultural plant where the excessive vegetative growth is not required, so under such condition the abscisic acid can be practically used for dwarfing the plant. It is antagonistic to the other plant growth hormones like auxins, gibberellins and cytokines. Hence it inhibits the growth in plants. Then fruiting and flowering. Abscisic acid induces flowering in some plants like strawberries during long day condition. Abscisic acid also induces flowering in short day plants. So to induce flowering in long day plants, for example strawberry, and also in the short day plants, the abscisic acid has been used. It induces flowering in long day and short day plants. In grapes, abscisic acid hastens or increases or enhances ripening and coloring of fruits. Abscisic acid application in very low concentrations has a slight promoting effect on flowering. High concentration of abscisic acid application inhibits or delays the flowering in many plants. Stress resistance, so it is a stress tolerating hormone. Abscisic acid has great importance in protecting the various types of plants during water or drought stress, salt stress, high temperature stress and cold injury. abscisic acid induces stress tolerance in plant by altering nuclear gene expression or by forming heat shock proteins in plants. More abscisic acid accumulation has been reported in all stress resistance plant species. It has been observed that external application of abscisic acid causes stomatal closure, that is the partial stomatal closure, and checks transpiration. Thus, it is involved in water conservation mechanism. So, abscisic acid is a stress resistance hormone. It induces stress tolerance during water or drought stress, salt stress, high temperature stress, and cold injury in various types of plants. It induces stress tolerant. It induces means abscisic acid induces stress tolerance in plants by altering nuclear gene expression. This is the one of the way. Other way, by forming a heat shock proteins in plants. So abscisic acid induces stress resistance or stress tolerance in plant. It has been found that the abscisic acid has been accumulated in all stress resistant plant species. It has been observed that external application of abscisic acid causes partial stomatal closure, so it checks the water loss by the process of transpiration. So abscisic acid has been involved in water conservation mechanism. Next and the last application of the abscisic acid, that is the root geotropism. The geotropism in roots is due to abscisic acid. The roots that grows towards downwards in the soil is due to the abscisic acid. So it is referred as root geotropism. Roots grow downwards in the soil. So the geotropism in roots is due to the abscisic acid. So in this way we finish our fifth one chapter, plant growth and growth regulators. So in this chapter we studied the growth, the definition of the growth, phases of the growth, then plant growth, regulate the factors affecting on the growth, external factors and internal factors. External factors consist of climatic factors, edaphic factors and biological factors. Then the internal factors, that is genetical factors, hormonal factors and nutritional factor. This is the first half of this chapter, which is based on the plant growth, while the second half consists of plant growth regulators, the definition of the plant growth regulators and the 5 types of naturally occurring growth regulators like auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, ethylene and abscisic acid we studied with respect to the practical applications of plant growth regulators. So the practical applications of auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, ethylene and abscisic acid we studied in this chapter. So this is all for today. So here we finish the chapter 5, plant growth and plant growth regulators. Thank you. Stay home, be safe.